here we are 365 days later. They thought by branding Trump with Infowars it would hurt him, but all the studies now show it helped him. And all their fake polls blew up in their face. Now the establishment's even more discredited. They've lost 8 special elections when Patriots ran. The Democrats have just won 2 elections where they won last election, so it's not really a surprise. But because they ran establishment Republicans. Now, Dr. Edward Group, good friend of mine, is here with us today. I wanted to get him here in studio with us to talk about science news, technology news. You know, about a month ago, this came out, CNN. Fluoride exposure in utero, that's in your mama's uterus, linked to lower IQs in kids, study finds. And then, of course, there's other big Harvard studies about 15-point IQ reductions. Just a few years, drinking 1.3 parts per million, causing massive brain damage. And, of course, the government mandates even higher than that. Here it is, fluoride exposure in utero linked to lower IQ in kids. Now, Facebook wants your nudes to combat revenge porn. I'm not joking. And then another report here, scientists are implanting tiny human brains into rats. We're going to get into that. I've been mentioning it. We're going to talk about it. We'll also talk about the election, everything that's happened since then, nationalists getting elected around the world. There's a lot of positive things, also a lot of negative things. But the first off, they're making a big documentary about you. You did an 18-day water-only fast. I got to say, you don't look like a concentration camp victim. You look, I'd say, about 5 years or younger, but it does look like you lost 20% of your body weight. I'm just guessing. I mean, you have really lost a lot of weight, but you told me that it was, I mean, you know, holy men, and then, of course, God, Jesus, you know, went out and would fast for 30-plus days or whatever. But you were telling me about some of the mental things that happened, how it basically eats up all the dead stuff in your body. And so you kind of were a pioneer, because folks can die doing this. I think, obviously, people need to, you know, do some research before you do this. But you did it, filmed for the documentary. Tell us about your experiences.
Well, for the last year and a half, I actually hired somebody to help me as a research assistant to try to determine what are the benefits of water-only fasting, because it's a very trendy topic. You have a lot of people that are going into the ketogenic diet right now. You have a lot of people that are doing the intermittent fasting. But I'm hardcore like you, Alex, so I wanted to say, what are the benefits of water-only fasting? And that means no vitamin supplements at all, not even a grain of salt, not even a grain of pepper, and that means only water, distilled water, spring water, and hydrogen water is what I was on for 18 days straight. And I wanted to monitor myself, monitor my moods, monitor what was happening with my energy levels. There are a lot of myths about fasting, but of course it's mentioned 38 times in the Bible. It's been used for multiple cultures forever. And the recent research that's been coming out that's done by major universities like USC stated that your body in 72 hours will start producing immune stem cells. And that means, what else in the world is there? I've been studying natural medicine for over 20 years. There's nothing out there where you're going to stimulate and produce stem cells in less than 72 hours. So what happens is the digestive system completely shuts down. When the digestive system completely shuts down, your body is then able to focus 100% of its healing ability, because we all have a self-healing mechanism, which we talk about as being suppressed by all the chemicals and the toxins everywhere. Allows your body to go into a phase called autophagy, and that means your body seeks and destroys any abnormal tissue, and it goes into a regenerative mode and actually starts regenerating your organs in your body. And that's been proven multiple times.
It was known with the liver and the skin, but now I was reading these big studies, mainline science. It's everything but basically the corneas in the eye and a few other things.
Yeah, and it's still debatable depending on the length of the fast that you do. I chose 18 days because after I was doing a lot of research on it, it seemed like it was a fairly safe way to do a fast and well, let me just say in a time period that people
I've been a hardcore blob. I didn't work out for 10 years. I used to be a big sports enthusiast, stopped doing it, just got in a rut, gained almost 100 pounds. I've lost like 60, 70, but you know, I still have issues. I'm trying to get better and exercise better. Water supplements have really helped me. But when you say I'm hardcore fatty, I've tried to fast before, and in about 2 days, I get higher than a kite. My brain's working really well. I can't sleep, and it's like so intense. It's like a drug. So I can't imagine 18 days. I can't go more than 2 or 3. What happened to you? I mean, because you were sending me nice little texts and things, but like, you know, by like day 12, Alex, I hope you're well. I love you. You know, I don't normally get texts from you saying, and of course, you were obviously in a very spiritual place.
No, it's true. And a lot of people do fasting for spiritual reasons. And when I was resting and relaxing and meditating, it is the weirdest thing. It's almost like you become connected spiritually to the world, and you can like feel.
Well, you were telling me that you can almost like see the pattern of the Matrix.
Yeah, you
but
could.
It wasn't digital. It was just like.
And I'm pretty clean. I eat very clean, and I take supplements, and I avoid all the chemicals and toxins and stuff. And the first 3 days are always the hardest because you do have some cravings. But then after that, I really was not hungry. My energy levels were fine. It's a big myth also that if you fast on water only, you're going to lose a bunch of muscle mass. I went from 185 pounds to 157 pounds during 18 days. Now, I did not lose but about 6 or 7 ounces of muscle mass.
You're kidding.
Everything that I lost was fat because your body is in a stage of ketosis. So you start running and fueling your body only on fat cells. People don't realize that they have a lot of fat inside their body too. So it's not just the fat on the outside.
You have the brown fat that's really bad.
Well, any fat, if you live a, aggressive lifestyle with an aggressive, poor diet, all that those chemicals and toxins are going to be stored in your fat cells. So your body is going to choose what to attack. I mean, especially.
But did you go through any detox? Because even if you're clean, there's stuff in the environment. Because I've heard people like day 10 or so, like purple pee, basically. It's just all this garbage comes out.
Yeah, I did. I went through detox, emotional detoxification and physical detoxification, where times where I just felt like sleeping for hours at a time. And then sometimes it was a roller coaster ride. I would have a lot of energy. And then mentally, I did get into those phases where it's just like you feel like when I was thinking about you and I was thinking about all of the stuff that we're doing and what's taking place, you can almost predict the future in a way. I felt like we were in the middle of, like you and I have felt for a long time, we're in the middle of a war, but if you look around and you see the things that are changing and the subtle things, just like, the stuff that's happening in Saudi Arabia with the princes and the money and the assets being frozen and all these little things. It made me
all the globalist forces are getting knocked over.
That they're getting knocked over and the deep state is going down. But the way that it's happening, like taking the money, most people don't know that the majority of the money in Washington is from Saudi Arabia, and all the chemicals and all the things that are happening slowly are conditioning, like the uranium one scandal and all of these, these hopeful indictments that are going to be happening. It would be hard to just come out and say, okay, we're going to arrest Hillary Clinton and we're going to arrest all these people, because the majority of the population can't wrap their heads around that.
That's not how you take it down. You take down the pillars of the corruption.
And so it's this conditioning that's happening with, people are starting to say, wait, maybe there is some corruption in the government, maybe. And so we're actually making these positive changes. And
then they try to put it on us that we're corrupt, but then it turns out they're the ones that did it. So they even prepare the ground for their own downfall. You can see God doing it. You see the mysterious ways the Lord works. Yes, you can see God's hand. We'll be back. By the way, we're going to be live for another 30 hours. 34-hour live global transmission kicked off at 8 a.m. this morning with David Knight. We've expanded the broadcast. We have the War Room with Owen Schroyer, Roger Stone, and I'm lining up getting the crews hired to go right up until basically midnight every night. And that's because news is breaking all the time. We're not just here covering news. We're breaking a lot of news, especially when big events happen. You want teams of journalists and researchers who know their stuff in place. And so Infowars has been built by you. I want to thank you all. I was just talking to Dr. Group during the break about Biome Defense, the probiotic that took him 7 years to develop. And by the way, we've gone out and researched and obviously looked at other big companies and third parties that put out, other brands that aren't as much. But the problem is that they're just, not even as good. I mean, there are some private labs putting stuff out. They're $200, $300 that are sold in elite laboratories. And this system is better. And I was talking about it Ours has been sold out for months, but we're still doing an incredible 50% off because I want you to try Biome Defense 50 billion live cultures in each caplet for yourself and free shipping. And it's not because we can't sell it. It's been sold out for 3.5 months. It's because I want you to see how great it is compared to other probiotics. I want you to experience it. Super Male Vitality sells out all the time. 50% off, free shipping. Never done this before. During this 34-hour broadcast, Super Male Vitality, 50% off, free shipping. Biome Defense, 50% off. All apparel, all T-shirts, 50% off. And we're not like stores at the mall that, you know, raise it 100% and lower it 100%. We're talking shirts as low as $4.95, the average price at $9.98. $9.98 on designer. Many of them made in America. I mean, some of these shirts cost us what we're selling them for, but I want to get Infowars out there. I want to get CNN as fake news out there. A lot of these shirts are limited edition. They're selling out right now. Trump is my president 2020. That's selling out, limited edition. They're all there. The Infowars in your face. Really powerful red on a navy blue background to spread the word. Molon Labe, ball caps. Infowarstore.com or 888-253-3139. Vitamin Mineral Fusion, 50% off, free shipping. Secret 12, 50% off with free shipping. Super Blue, fluoride-free mouthwash with colloidal silver and iodine, 50% off and free shipping. That's a lost leader right there. DNA Force is back in stock, 25% off, free shipping. Almost sold out 4 months. Infowarstore.com, Infowarslife.com, or 888-253-3139. Who can say, though, because I want the listeners to realize this, and again, it's not bragging, it's realizing how thankful we are to God, how Infowars and our guests and this whole system has been the critical chain reaction glue, along with Drudge Report and a few other outfits that are globally leading against the New World Order that is so incredibly evil. But just briefly, tell folks about Biome Defense and why it's so important.
The number one reason why it's so important is because we have a planned attack on our digestive system by the pharmaceutical companies, by the big agri companies, Monsanto.
They're killing the gut and they admit it.
They know. They know that our life exists because of the life inside of our gut. And that's why it's so important and to have good probiotics in your system.
You were explaining this is custom made, the only company out there, the only production you've done for us, explain it, that doesn't have chemicals sprayed, that's kept basically living.
So anybody can pull up how to stabilize, heat stabilize probiotics and look at the patents, and you will be completely shocked at what you're going to read. So all the probiotics that are cultured, number one, are cultured on animal products a lot of times. They're cultured on dairy products a lot of times. And then they're spray dried. And there's literally 3 or 4 coats of the most toxic chemicals you can find that are sprayed on probiotics to stabilize them, because people and these companies don't want to put probiotics out there unless they can say, okay, this is going to contain this amount of strains. The thing is, these are cancer-causing chemicals that the probiotics are being sprayed with, and that's why it took so long for us to develop, first of all, find a company that would work with us and create and culture the probiotics we want, just like in nature. Like if you were going to eat and pick your own food, we wanted to come up with a blend. In nature, they're not sprayed with toxic chemicals. In nature, you have the perfect balance. In nature, they're not cultured on animal products or cultured on dairy products. The Biome Defense is the only probiotic formula in the world that we have every single strain cultured for us in a non-dairy.
And I notice it's gray or brown depending on the batch, just like wine or a food. It's real. It hasn't been bleached out.
It's live. We don't spray it with any chemicals. It is dairy-free. Go around and find if you can find any probiotics out there that are dairy-free. This one's dairy-free. The activity level is extremely high. It has the perfect balance of probiotics that you need inside your gut. And a healthy gut is a healthy
By the way, I know 4 people in this office with all these new gut syndromes and Crohn's and the rest of it that had irritable bowel. People that worked out, even tried to eat healthy. I said, you got to take probiotics. And they said, well, I've tried them. It didn't really help much. I said, try these. All 4 of them said, why is this different? It's gone within 2 months. Gone. But then they also all lost a bunch of weight. It was weird.
Well, because what happens when your bowel is correct and you don't have all that yeast overgrowth in there and you don't have all those parasites or you have balance. That's what we're looking for, balance. You're able to break things down.
So that's why it's so important. Well, listen, this really is 50% off. When you do the free shipping on top of it that it's store-wide right now, it is a right at break even with Biome Defense. The Super Blue, it's a big old bottle of mouthwash. So free shipping on it, we lose money. But in fact, the crew said, why are you doing this? And I said, I want people to try it. I want them to sign up for auto ship so they lock in a low price so they keep getting it, so they love our products. So we get the 99% of the audience that's on the fence that doesn't buy from us. We have a great audience. You spread the articles, you spread the videos. We're changing the world. If I can just get more than 1% of the audience to buy products, yeah, I mean, we'll be able to really expand. Okay, so I mean, these are lost leaders, like people at the store saying, "Try a piece of our pie," and you're like, "Well, wow, why? Because it's so good, you're going to buy a pie." I mean, that's what I'm doing here. A lot of this stuff is lost leader today. The T-shirts is about meeting like-minded people, spreading the word. Infowarstore.com. And listen, now the prices are low. We've got with gold foil, Moan Labe, women's cut for your wife or girlfriend. We've got all sorts of other stuff. I said 60-something shirts. They correct me. We've got over 115 different types of apparel, different shirts alone, sweatshirts, you name it. All politically incorrect, all pro-America, ball caps, you name it. Infowarstore.com or 888-253-3139.
By the way, my kids will only sleep in the Infowars T-shirts at home because they're so soft. So I'm telling you.
Well, we used to have the regular ones that weren't super soft, but I said, well, I want to get the really soft, cool kind. So we've kind of converted over to that. Thanks.
So anyway, so every night they're patriots and they're sleeping in an Infowars. We
still sell the old designs that are like regular, but a lot of them are real soft, yeah.
Yeah, they love them. They love them. That's what they sleep in.
Well, again, folks, also our local affiliates, support those local stations, become sponsors, send them $100 a month, tithe to local news that tells the truth. We've got to shop with the good guys. It's an economic war. They're trying to shut down America. Globalism tried. We're rebooting the country. But you got to reboot the information warfare systems that are fearless and stalwart, because we're just like you. We don't want to be slaves. I'm not saying, hey, I'm special, look at me. I'm saying I'm in a war. We're hitting the enemy hard. We're blowing the hell out of them. I need more ammunition. My artillery is smoking hot, and I'm running out of ammo here, and I'm hitting the enemy right between the eyes, but I need more ships to come in, loaded with munition, and I will put it down their throat.
What the aging process is when the cell replicates, we lose a little bit of our telomeres. Telomeres are the little cups on the end of our chromosomes.
And when it runs out, you start dying. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com.